Hey everybody, welcome to Climb the Ladder for episode 155, presented by Wash Up Network. I'm your co-host Hunter, and my equally good-looking twin brother Duncan is sitting right here next to me. Thank you to everybody who's been tuning in each week. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes and Spotify. You can see two of the same face when you head over to YouTube. This entire episode is brought to you by our all-new CTL koozies. We released a select number of American flag-themed koozies to kick off the summer. Send us a message if you want one. As always, let's climb the ladder. All right, let's do a little wake up with CTL. We've got some Jameson cold brew here. Figured since it's a coffee whiskey, then we could have that on this special Saturday morning recording. Recording, kick off the weekend, hit the Delano's coffee, courtesy of Hunter's wife Hannah. You can see it on the YouTube if you tune in now. Cold brew whiskey, can't go wrong on a Saturday morning. We're a couple shots in the coffee. Yeah, it's kind of like Elf when he thinks he's putting syrup in there. Hey, nobody has to drive today. We're headed to the airport. Yeah, I was gonna say we're headed to the airport where it's completely legal to get a drink at 7 a.m. So airports don't have time zones. Yeah. Ooh, that's just right. Yeah. Wow. It's pretty good. I like that. Yeah, if you haven't had that before, check that out. You said it was like $1 for a little shooter? Yeah, $1 at the store. So that's really good. Yeah, we're headed to the airport here in probably about an hour and a half. Headed to Seattle. Hunter's obviously headed home. Mandy and I are headed there for the weekend, stay with Hunter and Hannah, but going to see George Strait at the Seahawks Stadium at CenturyLink Field, Lumen Field now. Lumen Field. With openers Chris Stapleton and Little Big Town. So we'll preview that a little bit more, but yeah, that's why we're together and that's why we're headed to the airport here soon. Yeah, well, it's been quite the week. I mean, other than me flying in, working in the office, we had the summer party and everything. So lots to celebrate, and it goes quick every time I'm here. Yeah. But we had 2 championships this week and some good Seattle Mariners baseball. Yeah. Let's start on the ice and talk a little Golden Knights. Golden Knights secured their first ever Stanley Cup final victory. I feel like it was kind of theirs to lose because Florida just didn't, they weren't really the same caliber. And when we saw the Knights come in and just kind of steamroll through the last couple rounds of the playoffs, I feel like we knew that that was going to happen. But man, they looked really good. And as you heard last week from Dan, there's some good updates in there. And yeah, I think it was a good one overall. Yeah, you had this one pulled up. Yeah, so I mean, in 6 seasons since 2018, for the Knights, which they made, their entry, they kind of took it by storm and was like, hey, we're here. We're not gonna just be a new expansion team that just sucks like right off the bat. Yeah. And I think the new draft rules helped how it's through. You don't just get bottom of the barrel guys for the expansion team. Yeah, they got like top. They got like basically their pick at the best. Yeah, and then I think they even changed it for the Kraken between that time. Yeah, since the Knights had so much success because in 6 seasons they've made the playoffs 5 times, and now they just secured their first championship. Yeah, and you look at some teams that never get a championship. That's insane. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's good for them. And I think people were really questioning, like, can Las Vegas support a professional sports team? And they were the first ones. Yeah, the Knights paved the way, and then the Raiders came, and now the A's are coming supposedly in a few years. Did you hear the A's had a sold out game last weekend for the opposite reason of not that the team is good, but they were like chanting for the owner to sell the team. Oh my gosh. Like, because they're so bad. Pull up the A's record really quick. Yeah, just, here's a little transitioning into baseball, I guess. I think I did hear earlier at softball this week that they were on a 6-game winning streak, but
At one point, I saw that they were on pace to win 35 games on the whole season.
Yeah. They are 19-53. So they have a
But
264 winning percentage.
7 of their last 10. So that's probably where the streak comes in. I mean, that they probably like doubled their rate of success then.
Yeah, that's true. 7 of the last 10. So what? You take out 7-3 out of their record, and they're 12-50.
12-50, yeah.
So
19-53 sounds a little bit better.
yeah, 12-50.
Man, while we're
Jeez.
here, I don't know what the Mariners are doing, but they've got to figure it out because we said it at the beginning of the season. We always do long season, but you got to do something quick. And the AL West is like what is it, the AL East? It's just been so close and competitive.
Yeah. Yeah, the bottom of the AL East is 500 with the Red Sox.
And I mean, if the A's were anything decent, we'd probably be tied with them, but the Rangers are taking the division and running with it. We're 8 games behind them, 7.5.
I like not seeing the Astros, but the Rangers are scary
I know.
because you know why? They spent money. You know, when
Yeah.
it didn't pan out, what, 2 years ago? When it was like, well, Kyle Seager's there now. Haha, they didn't do anything. And then it's like, well, obviously it's not going to happen overnight. Boom, they just opened the door.
Yeah. Good for them. I mean, the Rangers have not been relevant for a long time.
Yeah.
And if anybody can knock off the Astros from the AL West, and even the Angels are they're tied. Well, they're 100% behind the Astros. But
Yeah.
if the Angels can keep putting some pressure on the Astros, and then if the Mariners could figure something out, and because they're 4 games back from the Astros and Angels. If the Mariners could put some pressure on and then like sweep the Astros at a home series or something,
Yeah.
we'd be on the right track.
Why aren't we talking about the Royals? The Royals are
Yeah, worse.
now the worst team in the MLB.
Oh, yeah.
18-51 on a 10-game skid.
I was gonna say after losing their last 10 games, there was no way that anybody was gonna dethrone the A's as the worst.
Wow.
Hop over to the NL and see who's the worst over there. We often don't talk about the worst, but
Wow, not
dang.
even like as bad.
I don't know what the Cards are doing. We might have to get a quote from Joey.
Yeah, we need a little update from the home team.
And the Nationals. Yikes.
Man,
Never know what's going on over there in the National League, but let's hit a little bit of Mariners schedule, kind of where we've been, where we're going, heading into the weekend. Looks like we're at the beginning of a homestand. We've taken the first 2 of 3 over the Miami Marlins.
yeah. So we won that series, and then we got the first of 3 against the White Sox, which is good because I was looking at the White Sox and they're 30-41. And so even us as a 500 team, like we've got to be winning these series, especially against like the Marlins National League team.
Yeah.
They're in second place in the NL East. So to get 2 out of 3 against them, and then to
But
go
we
up against
also we're playing them today, right? So we have a shot to keep it going.
White Sox.
Oh, we finished against the Marlins.
Yeah, so we won the
Oh, I
series.
thought that one hadn't played yet. Oh yeah, so 2 out of 3 is good.
And then White Sox, this would be huge because as a losing ball club, we got to get these. And then
Oh dang.
we go on the road to New York.
Yeah, little AL East matchup back to back.
So
Yankees, Orioles.
yeah, and
Gotta take advantage of being at home, man. I don't know. Usually we can see what our home and away record is.
yeah, I
Yeah,
was
let's
just gonna
see.
say the Bronx Bombers, they're just a little over 500. So
Orioles are rocking. Nobody's talking about
we have
them.
back to back against both of them, Orioles and Yankees.
That's gonna be kind of a make or break going into the All-Star break.
We're definitely looking better at home, but being 500, I mean, it's all
about the same, give or take.
yeah,
4 games up, 4 games down. So
yeah. So it's all right in there.
all right, well, we got to keep you guys updated on the road trip once it starts because 6 games back east is gonna have a big impact on.
If we could end with
what we
a
do.
sweep at home, this weekend against the White Sox.
Yeah,
Dude, if you guys weren't flying out so early Sunday,
I know.
go catch it.
Go
Set
catch
at
game.
1 o'clock game
Nice. Yeah, the
on
flight
Father's
times.
Day.
Yeah. Get the blue. I love that charcoal with like the light blue S that
Oh
they had
yeah,
a couple years
they
ago.
bring that
It's a
out.
good hat.
Yeah.
All right. Well, another championship that we kind of skipped as we transitioned into baseball. Um, Also the Denver Nuggets winning a championship. So kind of crazy that the uh Nuggets and the Knights both finished championships in the same week. Like you have NBA and NHL wrapping up. But Nuggets get their first championship in I think it was 47 years,
Yeah.
which is crazy. And Hunter's got some Jokic updates, which we after last
Probably
episode
butchered.
finally figured out how to
Nobody
pronounce
calls us
it.
out though. We have, I
That's
mean, a
true.
smaller number of NBA fans,
Mhm.
but I've had conversations with people and they're like, "How do you say it?" And so, just throwing that out there, hand up. We realized that, but
Yes.
I was listening to some content, and so I wrote down the phonetic spelling.
Yes, that helps. Well, yeah, Hunter. Well, so first, congrats to the Nuggets. Big victory. I think
I mean, they
it's
were the team to beat. Like
yeah,
they looked
they're kind of the
good.
dark horse going into this one, and it seemed like everybody knew that, and it was all the Heat could do to squeeze one out against
Yeah,
them. But taking it 4-1, I think was expected, and
pretty dominant.
yeah. But even the end, I didn't watch the full finals game, but I pulled up the clip the next day to watch the last like 30 to 60 seconds. It was crazy. Nuggets were only up by one, and it was going back and forth. And Jimmy Butler shot a careless three with it was like guy right in his face, not even close. I'm like, the Heat were actually in game five if they would have been a little more strategic, but they just didn't.
Yeah,
They kind of threw it in because in like 10 seconds left, they didn't foul. They're just like, yep, Nuggets are going to win this one anyway. So,
yeah. And you wonder, like, I don't know. I think basketball is like like NBA is like that in general. Because even you see like the March Madness tournament games, college basketball, like
yeah.
they're using every last tenth of a second. So then it's like, well, that's it. Like, oh, throw it away. I don't know.
Yeah, to me, it seemed like the Heat knew that Denver was at home. They were finishing in Denver. And even if the Heat somehow fouled and got it and took it within one and somehow miraculously squeezed it out, they're going to have to fly back to Miami. And then Denver was going to kick their butt in Miami. So
Yeah,
that last 10 seconds kind of told me a lot like, yep, they don't really want to keep doing this. So, um, also, stat that Jokic was the first center since Shaq in 2002 to win the NBA Finals MVP, which I don't think anybody's surprised about.
yeah. He was so dominant, and to see this kind of gameplay from him, like just in such a I don't know, forward heavy NBA like current times, and to see him just rocking it out there, like he deserved it. He was arguably what carried like it's not just one person, but to see him like it was just fun to watch.
Yeah.
And then
He's all over. That's what I couldn't get over. Like
yeah,
you see a highlight clip of him and he's just like run and the dude's what, 6, probably 8 or something.
yeah,
And he's just a big guy, but he moves very like gracefully, and he's
yeah,
always got the ball and he's always figuring something out, but he doesn't have like that cocky, selfish player to me, which is kind of cool too.
yeah. I mean, he put up
6'11". Yep, I was a little
yeah.
off.
And just to think like how much he has the ball and like everything that he's doing, he had 41 points in game 2 against the Heat. How do you get 41 points in an NBA Finals game? Like the dude
Looks like he
wants the
averaged
rock.
like 30 also across all the
The
playoff
playoffs,
games.
yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, good for him. That's that's a pretty good feat right there. And
Yeah.
then Nuggets as a whole, first championship in 47 years. Stan Kroenke, I think is his name, is their owner. And Hunter found kind of a crazy stat on them that he owns like literally multiple like 5+ professional sports teams.
Yeah, and not just owning these teams, but and who knows how much an owner has an impact. I mean, I guess you're gonna like make the calls and get some guys and stuff, and
Yeah, he's not Jerry Jones.
he's not
It's
Jerry
like
Jones,
the president and the GM and the owner, but still.
but like you own these teams. And he's owned like fractions of teams, and then he became majority in most of these more recently. Because I guess like you get older, you get more money, your money makes
True.
money. But he owns the Rams championship 3 years ago, Nuggets championship this year, Avalanche, the Colorado Avalanche championship last year, and then the Arsenal.
And they went deep in the Stanley Cup playoffs this year.
Yeah, like almost back to back for the Colorado Avalanche. And then Arsenal, when was that?
Arsenal FC. Looks like
He owns them outright after owning just a portion of them like 15 years ago.
Yeah, London Soccer, but it doesn't look like they've been in recently.
Yeah.
But still owning a MLS team, the Rapids. He basically owns all of Colorado sports. So if you piss this guy off,
Yeah.
not on.
And then he owns the national
lacrosse.
lacrosse team in Colorado.
Who won the title last
They've
last
been
season?
runner up last season.
In 2023, but they won
Oh,
06 and 22.
yeah, they won last year and then runner up this year. So yeah, lacrosse, NBA, NHL,
MLS,
MLS. Well,
NFL.
I was saying for championships.
Oh,
and NFL. So, I mean, yeah, lacrosse, like throw it in there while we're at it.
yeah. For
But,
what
like,
it's worth, it's like what?
Also, why doesn't he own an MLB team?
Yeah, he should try to buy the Rockies.
Might help.
Oh, smart guy too. He owns Ball Arena, which is home to the Nuggets, Avalanche, and Mammoth.
Dude,
So the dude's just raking revenue from the 3 teams that he owns. So he's just paying himself to play.
everybody's like, hey, buy real estate, have an Airbnb. Like, dude, this guy pays himself where his sports teams play.
Looks like he bought it in 2000 when he got the Nuggets and the Avalanche, and then he probably moved the Mammoth there. But it's like, why not try to bargain? Hey, I'm gonna buy this NBA and NHL team. I want their house too.
Yeah.
Like, just go for the swoop.
That's like the equivalent of like, I don't know, like when people come over to your house charging like your family to stay at your house that you
Yeah.
own.
And one guy just makes all the money from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
Man.
Well, congrats to the Nuggets and the Knights. Good championships, and now we're kind of quiet on championships for the summer.
MLB for the summer is
Yeah,
really
we'll
gonna
hit the
hold it.
All-Star break, and then NFL stuff is bound to start popping up here soon.
Have we had the NASCAR finals?
I don't think so yet. I feel like that goes farther into the summer, but pull that up and see.
Cup Series. Here's the
Looks
schedule.
like they do start kind of early in the year.
I always remember it's like right after the Daytona 500 is the weekend after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I always remember that's the kickoff.
Oh yeah, looks like they. Oh wait, keep
wait,
scrolling.
last.
Oh, I thought that might be a break, but
that was it. Oh, last
Star
weekend.
Cup Series. Oh, so that's done too.
Dang.
Good call. Who was it?
Martin Truex Jr.
Denny Hamlin, runner-up.
Wow, got the Cup Series at Sonoma.
Huh.
Or maybe that's just to date, and then they'll have one.
Oh, maybe
this weekend.
We'll have to do a little more digging on the NASCAR and see. I'm not sure.
Yeah. There's our mascot. Well, we're in his home.
Yeah.
So.
We're recording in the backyard, so Smokey wants to come and hang.
Well, to end,
little
wrap up, we'll run into some segments and get a little fantasy feats and failures going because we haven't had an update on that for a little
I don't
while.
think we updated you since I kicked Hunter's butt. So,
and after Duncan had a nice whooping He gave me some tips and I've actually turned it around.
I did. I will say, wait, how long ago did I beat you? Because
I think
this is relevant. I'm
2 weeks
not
ago.
trying to gloat that one, but um, let's see. The victory against Hunter by a whopping 50 points was my second of 4-game win streak. So I'm currently on a 4-game win streak. And I will say that Clayton, founder of Washed Up Network, he's been on here a bunch. Clayton is definitely holding my feet to the fire. I've got him by 3 points going into Saturday.
Man.
So him and I are holding it very close. There's actually a lot of close matchups this week across our league. There's also another one within 3. There's one within 5. So it's going to be a tight weekend. So everybody make sure they set their rosters. But I will say right now I'm sitting alone at first place in the West Division of
Man.
what's our league name called? Bleacher Bums. So I slowly climb, but also I can't sit up there for too long without worry because there's a 3-way tie for second at 5-5. So the West Division is close. Hunter's still very much in it, even though he's at the bottom of the East. So I've got to pull this one off against Clayton so I can get to a 5-game win streak. So sitting at 6-4, that's a lot better than 2-4 that I was at a month ago.
Dang. Yeah, you turned it around. So I'm playing first place, Andrew Clark, friend of the program. You guys know him as the cornhole guy, and he dominates. I think he's won the last 2 years since we've been doing this fantasy baseball, and I've been hanging with him coming off of a tough week. None of my pitchers got over 20 points, so that was tough. Like I couldn't compete with. I think I was playing Mitch. Shout out editor of this podcast.
Yeah, Mitch.
Dude,
Mitch.
I was hanging and I'm checking the last 2 days of my matchup. I got 22 points from Whitlock with the Red Sox. But bummer yesterday
he pulled away.
He pulled away. I had been up on him all week. I just got a negative 18 from German on the Yankees.
Oh, dang.
But Paul Sewald, tip your cap to a fellow Mariners reliever.
Yeah.
Dude, he consistently gets me like 8 or 10.
Gotta like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's big time.
Oh, that was tough. Negative 18. So now I'm down by 60 points with not much pitching going into the weekend.
Oh, what's this guy doing? I have a guy, I drafted him. He was one of my earlier draft picks, spent the whole first 2 months of the season on the DL, 60-day DL. Finally got him off. He's made 2 appearances. One, he got 23 points pitching, one -2, and now they're saying he got an MRI on Friday and he might go back.
No.
Dude, maybe I'll just get rid of him. I don't know. It's a roller coaster playing fantasy baseball. So
It is.
like
and
Hunter
it's
said,
constant everyday coaching.
if you manage it, then it can be successful, but it is tough.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a fun season. I feel like it's pretty competitive this year with everybody kind of in it and relevant. So yeah, we'll try to bring you guys updates on that every few weeks. And as we sign off into the weekend, which we're actually recording this on the weekend, last week's episode came out a little bit late, and so we figured we could push this one a little, and then we'll kind of get back on our normal like midweek release. But yeah, weekend, we mentioned it already, but we're headed to Seattle today to go see the George Strait concert. Big concert, probably 70,000 people. He's not doing a lot of shows anymore. I think he's 71, you said. So
Yeah,
gonna
71 or
that.
72. We saw him 9 years ago on the Cowboy Rides Away tour, which, he's been doing shows in Vegas for the last 10 years. So we thought like, oh, we got George Strait like on his final tour ever. And then
dude just can't.
I mean, we're not
stop.
complaining.
No,
But,
he's the
like-
king, so he has to hold the title and
But
keep
like
doing
out
his
there
thing.
doing a stadium show, that's pretty cool. Like we saw him
Yeah.
at Tacoma Dome, which is half the size.
True.
So this will be awesome.
Yeah, so George Strait, Chris Stapleton, Little Big Town. All great big names in
Out there on the
country music.
pontoon.
Yeah. So I think Little Big Town will warm us up with probably a 45-minute set.
Yeah.
Chris Stapleton will probably get at least an hour.
I hope he gets like a good hour and a half.
Yeah. And then George is just probably gonna take us away for like 2 or 3 hours.
Dude, I wonder if George is just backstage on some tequila. His go-to is
Yeah,
Codigo.
Codigo. Yeah. Yeah.
That'll
I'm
be so
excited. It'll be
good.
fun. It'll be a fun atmosphere. A lot of good people, good time, and to see the family while we're up there. So
First time together, all 8 of us since Christmas Eve.
wow, yeah.
So that'll
6
be
months.
cool.
Yeah, do a little Robertson family 6-month check-in. Make sure all's good. But yeah, hoping the rain holds off. It's a little overcast here, you can kind of see, but feels good. It's like mid-60s in the morning. Headed to Seattle where we're looking at about the same.
If it's like this,
As long as we stay
66
dry,
right now.
that's good boots
And
weather for the
dry.
summer too.
Yeah, true. Because it's
Otherwise,
been
if it's 90, you gotta ditch the jeans and boots and go like dad style, like cowboy hat, cargo shorts.
button up with some khaki
Yeah.
cargo.
Easy. But yeah, I think the boots will make an appearance for a
Well, yeah, no reason not to. I brought
overcast
mine
June
for
day.
Luke Combs 90 degrees.
Yeah, if we did it for that, you can do it for most things.
And Garth in July that one summer was.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
didn't rock them in Vegas though, right?
I
'Cause it
couldn't.
was- yeah.
No,
way
I mean
too hot.
walking around and
Yeah, your feet just you gotta save your feet in
and different
Vegas.
setting. He had a ball cap and a sweatshirt.
Oh wow. Yeah, because he doesn't have to go full stadium Garth. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what he wears anyways.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're excited. It should be a fun weekend.
Yeah.
We had a good week in Boise, had our company summer party last night, and Hunter got to play in a couple softball games. I played in one. That was fun to get out there. And yeah, so I had a good week. We're gonna keep it going in Seattle, and then we'll be back here next week.
Yeah.
Bring it all
Ready
back.
for it. Fun wake up, fun little
Yeah, real time wake up with CTL, little patio sesh
yeah, in person. Hard to beat.
featuring the Jameson cold brew.
Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody, and Dunk in person. As always, let's climb the ladder.